everyone. Welcome back to the Super Conscious Success Podcast. I know that it has been a while since I have actually published on this podcast or recorded on this podcast, but I kind of changed the way that I was doing it. And so instead of it being an interview podcast, I'm now turning it into a solo podcast. However, if you are wanting some interviews, if you're wanting some interaction with other people as well, then I have a lot in store for you. In fact, I've got new live streams that are going to be starting in April, where we're going to be able to talk to other people, but also be able to, I have co-hosts that are going to be doing lots of different live streams with me. On top of that, I've been working really hard on the Super Conscious Success Academy to get more and more courses and programs out there for you. I've got the Super Conscious Success site. I've got the spiritual coach, Jen Matthews, if you're looking for one-on-one coaching with me. And I've also got the Super Conscious Success Live site where we're going to be able to actually start to put on more live events and that sort of thing. But in the meantime, in regards to the podcast, and if you're seeing this on YouTube, you can also access it as a podcast on all of your favorite platforms. But in terms of the podcast, I am actually going to be recording regularly, at least once a week, possibly more, depending on what comes to me. I'm going to be doing it based on intuition, which means that when I feel like there's something I want to share, I will get on here and I'll just give you brief nuggets. They're not going to be super long podcasts because I know that we don't all have the time to be sitting there for a long time listening, but I am going to try to get as much valuable information out to you absolutely free to help you on your ascension process. So this particular podcast is actually about ascension. Let's start off this new format by talking about what is spiritual ascension. And this is something that I think is really important for us to discuss, because as we near the age of Aquarius on the 23rd of March, I'm super excited because the veil that is actually between the 3D and the 4D world is actually thinning, and it's going to be thinning more and more, which means we have our ability to ascend and our ability to connect with those higher beings is actually going to be much easier. And so this is the perfect time for you to be starting your ascension process. So let's get into it. What exactly does it mean when we talk about ascension, and is it something that we're all doing right now? Well, yes, at some point we are all ascending. Not all of us are doing it at the same time. Not all of us are doing it at the same pace. But like I said, as the age of Aquarius starts, then we're going to be opening up much, much easier. We're going to be able to access the Akashic records a lot easier. We're going to be able to connect with our higher selves and with divine beings a lot easier. And so it is a really exciting time if you're interested in that spiritual ascension. Now, I'm so excited about this topic, and it's something I'm so passionate about. I'm actually creating a program, or it's actually a membership called Awakening Your Ascension, which is really about, it's going to cover everything that you need within it to be able to take full advantage of that age of Aquarius, of that time of awakening, of that time of ascension. That's being created right now in the Subconscious Success Academy. It will be available probably May or June sometime, and it's going to be continually added to, and I think you're really going to love it. There are already some courses and programs available in the Academy, but there is lots more coming up. Anyway, let's get back to Ascension. So over the past 4 or 5 years, I've actually been going through my own Ascension journey, with it being probably the most intense over the last couple of years. And when I say intense, I mean intense. I mean, I've been through multiple dark nights of the soul, which really and truly, if you think about it, it's not actually the dark night of the soul, because our soul is pure love, but it is the dark night of the ego. So as my ego was starting to be, I suppose, suppressed, and my higher self was starting to raise and my vibrations were raising, I went through these really dark periods. And pretty much an entire year last year, I went through these periods, and it was a very interesting time when my darling husband and my kids would come to me and say, "Mum, what's wrong?" as I was sitting there and I was crying and I had no idea why it was happening. But I was doing a lot of shadow work. I was doing a lot of inner work of healing and, you know, going through my past and retelling the story of my past and really doing a lot of inner work. And so I went through this period of really dark times. And this can happen as you're going through your ascension period, but it's nothing to be scared about, because once you actually come out of it, it is exciting. It is like, I literally came out of it and my eyes were open and I was awakened to the point that now the trust that I had in source, the trust that I had in spirit, the trust that I had that everything was working in my favor was just so much higher, and I had a sense of peace. So even though sometimes we do go through that as we're shedding the ego, you do come out way better on the other side. So through this, I actually learned to raise my vibrations to higher levels, and I had a much greater connection with spirit and also to that of my higher self. Now, spiritual ascension is a journey that we embark on in search of that higher consciousness, in search of that inner peace, and also that deeper connection to something that is way bigger than ourselves. It's a time of personal growth and personal transformation that involves changing our perception of the world, altering our limited beliefs and our patterns that are inhibiting us from expanding, and also opening ourselves up to new possibilities and new experiences. Now, some people refer to the spiritual ascension as our spiritual awakening. And as I said, it is a truly delightful but often difficult period of self-discovery and transformation. It's a period where we really dig deep into our shadows, our fears, and our limited beliefs until we truly come to the realization of our true nature and the concept of unity. For so many years, we've believed in the concept of separation. And in fact, during the age of Pisces, which we've been in for the last 2,000 years, it's been about the concept of separation. It's been about that feeling that we are all separate from one another. Now, as we move into the age of Aquarius, we start to believe in the concept of unity. We start to work more collaboratively. We start to really work towards finding our true selves, finding out who we truly are. And this is what Ascension is all about. We finally start to realize everything as being interconnected, and we evolve as that conscious being. Now, it is a journey of conscious evolution that leads to a much deeper understanding of the universe and also of our place within it. Now, what is the core concept behind that of the spiritual ascension? It is that there is something that is much greater than our individual self, and that this greater intelligence or this greater consciousness is actually available to every single one of us. We all have it within us. We are it. We can accomplish anything that we want in life. We are offshoots of source. We are able to manifest. We're able to create the life that we want to live. But our habits and our limited beliefs and our traumas and our blocks are stopping that from happening. So as we ascend, we remove all of that. We release all of that. And we start to finally be able to come into our true self. We finally be able to connect deeper and have a sense of purpose and meaning. We let go of that fear. We let go of that alienation. We let go of that loneliness, that feeling that we are alone and we are separate, because we are never alone. We always have our beings alongside us. And most of all, my greatest friend in the entire world is my higher self. And you will always have your higher self there, rooting for you, begging for you, just totally praising you for being you, because you are perfect just the way you are. Now, Ascension helps us to develop a greater awareness and a greater empathy, enabling us to build stronger relationships and also to contribute more to society. Now, as we ascend, we start to have a lot more compassion. And as we have compassion, we start to understand what others are going through. As we have more empathy, I'm an empath. I feel the emotions of others. I feel the feelings of others. It's left me in a codependent state for many years, which I finally powered up and moved out of. But it allows us to have empathy as opposed to sympathy for other people, recognize where they're coming from, but allowing them to follow their own journey, allowing them to follow their own awakening, allowing them to follow their own ascension. That is their journey. We have to hold space for them, but not take it upon ourselves. Just allow them to do what they are supposed to be doing. Now, Ascension can also lead to that greater sense of inner peace, that happiness and that fulfillment. As I said, once I came out of that dark night, it was like my eyes had totally opened up. It's just happiness and fulfillment and total peace. Now, as we let go of those negative patterns and the attachments, we begin to live in a state of surrender and acceptance. Now, on this 3D plane, we as humans will often attach ourselves to things. We attach ourselves to the material possessions around us. We attach ourselves to our old belief patterns. But most of all, we attach ourselves to people. And so we have kids and we believe that it is our job to pretty much run their life. It's our job to tell them what's best, and it's our job to dictate what is going to be right for them. But we need to instill lessons and morals and that within our children. But the fact of the matter is they're their own people and they have to move on and they have to experience their own lives and fulfill their own journey. And so if we become so attached to people and we don't learn to let them go, then it stifles us and it stifles them as well. So we need to let go of attachment. We need to know that everybody that comes into our life and everybody that leaves our life does it for a purpose. We are all souls that have soul contracts that have come down onto this planet to be able to create an experience together, to be able to give Source, to give God the ability to experience this, for our souls to learn lessons that we can take to the next lifetime or wherever else we're going from here. So we need to understand, we need to let go of attachment. We need to enjoy the day as we have it. Enjoy the people that are in our lives. If people are toxic, we need to let them go from our lives. Allow Source to remove these people from your lives so that you can live a happy life, free of dependency, free of toxicity, to be able to fulfill your purpose and your passions. So there we go. That is all about Ascension. What do I wish for you? I wish for you to have that complete happiness, that complete fulfillment. I want to be there for you as the founder of Subconscious Success, as a founder of the Subconscious Success family. I want to be there for you. If you do want some help with your Ascension journey, I am available for one-on-one coaching. And all you have to do is go to Spiritual Coach Jen Matthews and sign up for a 30-minute introductory call where I can actually just chat to you and see if it's something that you're wanting to do. Now, otherwise, make sure you check out the other resources that I told you about at subconscioussuccess.com, where you can also sign up for the free inner circle. Sign up for the free inner circle, then you'll get free mini courses. I'm still building it at the moment, but it's a membership that will continue to have more content delivered to you. But head across the academy, head across the Subconscious Success Live, which will be available probably from April. And there's going to be live events. We're also going to have summits and all sorts of things. As you can tell, I'm super excited about the new platforms that I'm building. I thank you so much for joining me in this episode. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Okay, I'll catch you later. Bye.